All right, we got last warm up rep. Let's get it good. All right, welcome back to the best damn training channel on YouTube. Today, I made a little swap. Monday is normally my acceleration focused day, but today, for whatever reason, I was warming up and I felt like I wanted to do a max velocity session. So that's what we're gonna do. The weight room work is gonna stay the same, and I'll show you that after we finish the track work today. But the focus for today, we got 3+ reps of a max fly. So 35-meter build, 10-meter fly, 45-meter total sprint. And we're calling these 3+ because I'm gonna do a minimum of 3 hard efforts on this. If the quality is still there after that 3rd rep, we'll do a 4th. If the quality is still there after that 4th rep, we'll do a 5th. And then no matter what happens, no more than 5 reps today. So, and what I mean by quality is if the times are relatively the same or they're getting faster, like if they're within 0.01 to 0.02 of each other, then I'll keep adding reps. If I'm 0.03 or further off of whatever that previous rep was, then I'm gonna scrap it after that 3rd rep. That's gonna be the plan today. I'm gonna take full rest in between these, which means like 4 to 6 minutes in between, because I want the intensity and the quality of these to be as high as possible, so longer rest periods are gonna be needed on this. So full rest, next rep is gonna be the official 1st rep on that. (102). There we go. All right, I'll tell you what, back-to-back sub 1 second sprints at 40 years old.
I'm a man, I'm 40.
Is always an amazing feeling. Regardless of whatever happens on this next rep, I am extremely happy with how today's session is going. I knew I felt something while I was warming up. I was like, you know what, let's do some max velocity work. So the rule of now is gonna be essentially with a 9.8 and a 9.9. I'm going off that 9.8 to dictate whether or not we're gonna continue on. So that 0.02 rule basically means if we hit anything that is above a 1.01, then we're done for the day. If we hit anything that's a 1 flat or lower, then we'll do the 5th rep. So 1st rep was 102, 2nd was a 98, 3rd was a 99, and now we're trying to stay at that 1 flat or lower, and we'll do a 5th rep. Otherwise, we're gonna call it quits, and we'll head to the weight room. So full rest again, 4 to 6 minutes. We'll send it for one more and see what happens. All right, let's see. Do we got one more rep or no? Oh, 101. All right, well, wasn't a 1 flat, so we're gonna call it quits on the max V. I'm gonna clean up, we're gonna go to the weight room, and we'll get ready for today's lift. All right, so weight room work, same as my normal acceleration day. Box squats and then a jump variation. So the box squats today, I'm raising up the height on the box to keep me in a more of a quarter squat position. And I've also lightened up the load. So again, we're tapering off a little bit of the weight week by week as we get ready to do a sprint test next week. But as we taper off that load, I'm focusing on increasing that bar velocity. So this week I was at a 1.5 meters per second or above, where the previous weeks I've been close to like that 1.00 or 0.9 meters per second. Pairing it with a seated box jump variation just so I can get some more explosive movements in throughout the day, as well as do a jump variation that I like to do when I'm doing my box squats like this. Now I had depth jumps programmed, but I just, for whatever reason, just decided I wanted to do a seated box jump variation. I really like the pairing of a quarter squat variation into a jump variation. So you could do depth jumps, you could do box jumps, however you want to do it is fine. I don't think there's a very specific need for one or the other when we're in this type of training phase right now. And following up the box squats and the box jumps was a staggered stance trap bar deadlift. Now this is one thing I have been progressing and getting a little bit heavier with, partially because it is my main strength movement of the day. So that staggered stance gives me that unilateral bias, even though it's not a true unilateral movement, and allows me to be a little bit more explosive, partial range of motion, move something heavy very, very fast to keep that stimulus within the program each week, and we knocked out a few sets of that. Finished off with an overhead pull variation. I use this cable setup and do a single arm variation just because we don't really have a lot of machines available at this gym that I'm at. So this variation here allows me to kind of get into a great position where I can feel that lat. I also have to be very stable and not letting that cable pull me forward, so that foot has to be real far out in front. Gives me a good stretch in the hips as well, which I really like while doing this movement, and did a few sets on that to finish off the day. So other than that, man, today's session was incredible. Hitting 2 sub 1 second flies is a great spot to be as we taper off everything the rest of this week, and we